let's welcome Ms. Tuti Lal. And my first question to you, ma'am, is teens often are worried, keep worries to themselves because they're scared of being judged or misunderstood. What can adults do at home and at school to create a truly safe space where young children feel they can open up?
Okay, good evening, everyone. And I would like to thank Jyoti ma'am for the wonderful work that she's doing and congratulate her team. And would also like to thank all of you for joining. So, Divya ma'am, you have put a question to me before answering this question. If you allow me, I would just like to share maybe a small example or an anecdote or a realization as a parent, as a teacher, as a counselor, right? So, this is to everyone, and I think each one of us have heard of that quote where Mahatma Gandhi says, be the change you wish to see in the world, right? Now, believe me, I think each one of us have our own struggles, own challenges, and problems that we face in day to day life. So, in my journey of solving my problems, every time and anywhere that I went for an answer, right? So, be it a guide, be it a counselor, be it a psychologist, be it a mentor, or be it YouTube, right? For podcasts that we are so dependent on these days. So every time, there was this one thing that would come to me that, Stuti, you need to look into yourself. You need to do something about yourself, right? And believe me, whether the conflict was with, say, whether it was personal or professional, or say with my students or with my child, every time, and I would always keep thinking that no, but I think I'm doing it right. No, everything is going fine, but I'm not at fault, right? And because the other is at fault, so how do I change myself? It And I was really upset. If you can if you allow me to share, I thought that no, maybe Mr. Gandhi was not right. How can I be the change and then see that in the world, right? But I think the biggest realization is that that is the truth. For any conflict to be resolved, be it personal or professional, I think we have just one option, and that is to look within, right? To see what is it that we are doing. So here, when I have this opportunity to, kind of share my own experiences, I would say this is the biggest realization and this is the biggest tool that I think I have been able to use and use to my benefit, and rather use to benefit of all. Because then you suddenly see, when the focus is on you, you suddenly see the relationships improving, your action improving, the way we deal with it, it improves, right? Now, if we just go on to the question, for this question and for all the questions that come ahead, I would also like to bring everyone's attention to these basic 4-5 aspects that are mentioned here in the slide, where, we say that, do you think parenting is difficult? Yes, it is easy. It is not, sorry, it is simple but not easy, right? So, all the challenges, all the asks of a parent is not very difficult, right? That's why it is said that, okay, it is simple if we understand it well. But it is also it is not that easy. Why? Because again, the spotlight comes on each one of us, right? So, for example, role modeling makes parenting the most difficult. In each and every situation, we need to remember who is the adult. At times in our so from where does the conflict arise? The point is, the moment we are in a situation, based on our own life experiences, based on our own aspirations, based on the way we want our life to be designed, we tend to forget who is the adult in the conversation, right? And the I would say the sad part is that we are not allowed to be or behave like child when we are interacting or engaging in conversation with our children, right? So we always need to remember this. So each and every question that we answer today, I think these are the 4 5 aspects that we need to remember to each and every answer. That is, we need to be the role models. We need to remember who is the adult. And another thing, as a counselor, that I realized, every time there would be a teacher in my office, or there would be parents coming and saying that ये हो नहीं रहा, बच्चा ये कर क्यों नहीं रहा, वो करके क्यों नहीं दिखा रहा. So the idea is, I think we are being in too much of a hurry, right? We need to realize that home and school for a child is a training ground, right? We are training the child right now. We do need to expect them to perform, but then we also need to wait, give them some time. Each child learns differently. Each child has a different time to bloom, right? So we need not be in a hurry. Even in army, there's training and then comes performance, right? Directly, it's not that we get in and then we are supposed to perform. So training ground hai, and we need to be patient. Also, the glory part of the parenting journey is that we can never give up, right? So again, this is one thing that we should all remember at all point of time. And when there is no option, then there's no point going that way or thinking or getting disappointed, because as an individual we can get disappointed, but not as a parent, right? So to the question, coming back to the question, Divya, that you asked, that how do we make it a safe space? So I would again like to put a question here. Where will we feel safe? In a hut of grass or in a fort? I think the answer is obvious. So when we say a fort, that means it is not, it is again for us. See, again in this question, in this answer, the spotlight comes on us, and it says that we need to be that strong, that self sufficient, that sorted, that organized, right, in our own selves, so that when our children come to us, they feel safe. Because if we don't know how to respond, but we react, obviously they are not going to feel safe. If we keep on judging them, they will not feel safe. If we are too worried and too busy solving our own problems, right? Our own struggles, that obviously we'll have, but then we will, as parents, the added responsibility is that we deal with ourselves as individuals, and with our children we are hardcore parents, right? So unjumble the jumble. Also, it is very late that I realized organization, being organized, is a very big thing, because most of the time that I see my parents coming in school here or there, even myself, if I'm not able to attend to my child properly, a young one or an adult or a teenager, it is because if I look within introspect, it is always that I'm busy with something, or I'm trying to fix something here and there. That clearly shows that it's a simple step that we can take. If we learn how to organize, if we learn how to prioritize, half the trouble will be gone. I don't say complete solution hai, but yes, half, I'm sure, will be sorted, and we'll be more relaxed to listen to them. Another thing is broadening our horizons. Yes, we need to do that. We cannot, we need to understand the changed scenario and the changing world, and the world in which our children live, rather than from our own, the world in which we lived. So we need to know, we need to be updated, we need to understand their concerns. Only when we have acceptance of the new world, of the changing order, it is only then that we'll be able to understand our children's point of view well, right? All of it, all of the inner work. And as Sadhguru says, that we need to raise ourselves to raise our children, right? So all of this will give us a therapeutic lens, a therapeutic eye viewpoint towards our children, where we are going to be peaceful, we are going to be patient, we are going to be happy, we are going to be high on acceptance, and we are going to be high on responsibility. And I think that is how we will be that fort to our children, that safe space.